great. He loves the Halloween store. Harper loves Halloween and scary things. And that is a
she
change
looks like
for me.
your husband, too.
I know. She doesn't look anything like me.
No.
I swear she's mine. But so it's a challenge, like trying to find the balance. Like I want her to be herself and to enjoy it while also trying to not be super uncomfortable about it. And they always try to scare me because they think it's funny. I just try to be a good sport. I do not think it's funny. And they know it. So
it's funny to them.
Yeah, it's funny to them. So that's how I feel about Halloween. Do you have any questions over here?
Amber says, I'm just going to pick up your phone again.
Okay, go ahead.
I can see all you beautiful people a little bit better. Well, you can see me. I don't like it either. I was traumatized by dolls and Michael Myers, so no. But childhood memories, yes. Now, absolutely not. I have nightmares and had experiences with spirits, but I love fall decorations, just nothing evil or scary. Yeah,
and I
don't like anything evil or scary either.
Yeah, me either. And I just think also it's a personal thing. Like we talked about this, about listening to secular music and knowing what your boundary is and what your comfort level is with your relationship with God and who you are. Don't do something that makes you uncomfortable, and don't do something that you feel like you shouldn't. You know, we're not saying that. This is just our personal opinions about Halloween and our traditions.
This is our personal opinions. You don't have to share them. On my personal page, we got Joan, Lisa, and Stan. Thank you so much for watching. We're talking about Halloween.
Yes, we are. So I wanted to talk to you, since we're talking about costumes and how you said if you saw like a kid or a baby as a witch that you would be like, oh, you're cute. I read a Facebook post maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's from someone that I know, and it said it had a list of costumes that she would not accept at her front door and give candy to.
Wow.
And when I read it, I was really taken back. Some of them I agree with, and I think that they're, not appropriate. But like on the list was cops.
What?
If you're a cop, a Southern Belle. So I should have just printed that out so I had it on hand. But like very strange things to say that kids couldn't be dressed up as. And the reason I think it's strange is because that child is just being a kid. Not necessarily choosing to be a cop to be like, making some type of statement. Like the kid's probably 5 years old and just wants to be a policeman when he grows up, just like, every kid wants to be whatever. And Harper thinks she's going to be a mermaid, and, that's just life. But to hold that child accountable, and so in the post, she said that she would scream them off the porch.
Wow.
And that she would not give them anything.
Wow.
These are just kids. They're just kids. I think it's silly that we are attacking them in that way. They're
sad.
Yeah.
And if they did that to my kid,
So my response was, if you spoke to my child like that, or like refused to give my child a piece of candy because she was dressed up as a Southern Belle, like we'd have a major issue. I don't know why she felt the need to sound that off and make a full-on list of like 25 plus costumes that she would not accept at her door. But the fact that she said she would scream at them, that really, really irked me.
Yeah. I'll scream right back at you, sister.
Me too. I would not hold back.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, don't let Brock see that happen, because he definitely want to hold back. Like, that would be infuriating. But how do you feel about costumes like that? Like, what's your take?
I have no take.
Like, they're kids.
They're kids.
They're
right.
just
Tristan's
dressing
gonna
up
be
for fun.
Spider-Man, and I think just in general, kids have a great imagination, and they like to dress up, period. Whether it's for Halloween or, Tristan wants to wear his Spider-Man costume now and just wear it. It doesn't matter if it's Halloween or not.
And she was like, my porch, my rules.
Wow.
It's
well, honey,
aggressive.
we ain't coming to your porch.
We're not coming to your porch. And to be honest with you, I hope that something comes from that rant. Maybe she heard from someone and someone broke through that a little bit, because again, they're just kids. They're just trying to have a good time.
Right.
And they're a product of their home life. They're not trying to make some type of political statement by
It's
being
probably
a
political thing, right?
Southern Belle or anything like that. I do think that there are some costumes that maybe would be inappropriate, like, old times when people used to paint their faces a certain way and whatever.
Sure.
I do think that stuff like that's inappropriate. But to say that a kid can't dress up as a police officer and get candy from you, I think
it's ridiculous.
That's really ridiculous.
Absolutely
and
ridiculous,
sad, to be honest with you. Really sad.
I mean, I don't like growing up. I don't like it now, but growing up, especially middle school, high school, Halloween was a time for girls to dress up like very inappropriately.
Oh.
You know, like the Victoria's Secret bunny or whatever, with the Playboy bunny.
Or Victoria's Secret bunny.
Or Victoria's Secret bunny.
Either way.
So it was like a time that that was allowed almost. Inappropriate
That is
clothing.
still the case.
Tights.
100% still the case.
Midriffs, cleavage, butt, all that kind of stuff. I actually was walking down the street from school or walking to school. I don't remember, but me and my friend were walking on a road that my mom frequents. And I was dressed like a gothic chick in these tights.
For fun?
No,
Just a
for
regular
Halloween.
Day? Oh, for Halloween specifically.
And
okay.
we were all dressed in black and just did not look appropriate at all. And she was my example, this other girl, and she dressed that way. And Halloween was a time for us to really dress that way. And so my mom saw it, and I didn't know she saw me. And thankfully, she didn't say anything, but she was in shock that I was dressed like that. And I didn't know that she saw me until much later. I don't remember the whole story, but I felt ashamed that she had seen me like that.
I get it.
Going to middle school, going to 7th grade or 8th grade or whatever it was.
It's hard because I know we're going off topic here, but there's so much peer pressure in middle school.
Oh, gosh.
Middle
it's
school
terrible.
is torture.
Yeah.
And for a parent, it's hard. And for kids, it's hard. There's a lot of nowadays bullying constantly. And you can't escape it. I know this is not Halloween, but I feel like it's important to talk about. You can't escape it anymore. You know, when I was younger, you would go to school and there would be a day where maybe somebody said something about you and it would be like a gossip train. And after the weekend, they would be talking about something else. But now it never leaves.
Right.
It's like through social media, through texting, through everything. They're constantly getting it over and over and over, and it doesn't leave. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And sadly, I think that that's why depression, anxiety, and suicide, self-harm, all those things are so high right now because everything is blown out of proportion and big, and they can't escape it.
I'm so glad I didn't grow up during this time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I've done. I mean, I humiliated myself at my high school graduation. I fell down the steps.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Thank God at that time we didn't have smartphones. We
There
just started
definitely
texting.
would have been a video floating around of you like that.
Yeah, I would have been completely humiliated. And just knowing my thinking, I probably would have been more suicidal or have committed suicide because of how embarrassed I was. But we didn't start even texting until freshman year. And then smartphones came out years later when I was in Bible college, which was like 2008. I remember my future husband sending me an email or a text from his iPhone and thinking he was so cool that he had an iPhone.
So cool.
Which drew me back to him.
You're like, you won me over because you have an iPhone. You win. You win.
He had an iPhone, he had a new car, and he actually told me later that he was doing all those things to win me back.
Oh my gosh. I
that
die
funny?
at this.
It's awesome.
I love stories like that.
Anyway, tangents.
Anyway, sorry about the tangents, but
That's okay.
I just
Thank
wanted
you guys
to
so much for
digress.
showing yourselves something.
Yes.
For joining the live.
Yes, we appreciate having
feed.
you on the live.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, the Halloween tangent, that was good. We talked about it. I think we talked about how we feel and, like, I mean, guys, have fun.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's uncomfortable for you, then don't participate. Just give out candy to the little kids that, you know, are coming to your door dressed up really cute. And, you know, it doesn't have to be this deep, dark, spiritual or, you know, Satanistic holiday. I do want to talk about the night before Halloween, which is Mischief Night.
Mischief Night, yeah.
So Mischief Night used to freak me out. Just
Yeah.
the word. I was a very anxious child. Still am a very anxious adult child. And so things would just really, I was sensitive. And now as I think about my childhood and things that I was extra sensitive to, I do think that it was the gift of discernment. And at the time, I don't think when you're a kid that you understand what the gift of discernment is. And the word mischief really freaked me out. I'm like, oh my gosh, someone's going to toilet paper our house. That's like not
my
even
mom used to
the
take
worst,
in our
but it would
pumpkins
scare
off
me.
the porch.
I'd be like, oh, someone's going to smash our pumpkins.
Yeah.
And it would just really scare me.
It is
so
scary.
my mom used to help us do something fun. And we would knock on our aunt's door. And we thought she did not know this, but obviously she was in on it. We would take, what is it called?
Spray paint?
No, not spray paint.
Glitter.
No, you know what I'm talking about. I know. Look, I'm having a brain fart. Now I've given it to you. What is the word?
I don't know. Is it an aerosol can?
Yes, it's the aerosol can. Anybody?
I don't
Somebody
know.
give me this word. Either way, we would go over there and we would like spray all over her house and her door. Like she knew we were coming, but we didn't know she knew.
That's not spray paint?
No, not spray paint.
Okay.
Guys.
Hairspray?
No. I'm dying because I'm having a mom brain moment. I can't even think of it, and now it's way past the point.
Okay,
Either
go
way,
ahead.
so we would like vandalize in a fun way her
Yeah.
house, and she would come out and be like, "Who did this to my house? Who did this to my yard?" And we'd be like, and then we would go do it to my grandmom, and so my kids still do that now. Like,
And she never figured out it was you?
no, she knew. They like my mom clearly told her that we were going there, but we didn't know she knew. So to us, it was like, we got her, we got her. So that was a tradition that we would do on Mischief Night, and I think that broke the fear to me because it became something fun as
right.
opposed to
That's
something that would
good.
be
Great
like
point.
challenging and scary. And so we had a great time. We loved doing that.
That's awesome that you say that because that's what our pastor has said.
Silly String. Who's that person at the bottom? Amber.
Silly String.
Thank you, Amber. Thank
That's
you.
so funny.
So Silly String. My Lord. Today.
Now
My
that
brain,
makes sense.
thank you.
Silly String.
Silly String. Who
Yeah,
else said
spray
Silly
paint
String?
would not be a good
Samantha.
idea.
Samantha, thank you for saving me by saying Silly String. She knows me so well. She's probably like sitting there going, Julie, come on. Anyway, yeah, we would spray it and it was fun. And now my kids do it to my parents. We knock on their door and my mom will be like, what? Who destroyed this? And she'll make a big thing like, Art, I don't know who keeps doing this to our front door. It makes it a huge deal. And she'll be like, when we go in there, did you see who was outside doing this to our yard? And it's great because Harper especially
That's
has
awesome.
no clue. She thinks it's fun.
Because you turned something that was, evil or scary into something that was fun. And that's what our pastor actually, he wrote us a bunch of notes because he's like that.
We love him for it. Shout out to PB.
And he actually, this was something that he had written a while ago when somebody had addressed it or asked him if we should celebrate Halloween. And I don't have my phone on me because we are live, but I'm going to go look at the notes. But pretty much all in all, he just says you can make things sacred or profane and to make things fun, or you can make them not so fun. Mm-hmm. They actually, him and his wife Cheryl used to host a haunted house, and they would take the kids to the haunted house, and at the end was a coffin. And in that, they would give them the gospel. And they would see many people, many young kids give their lives to Christ. They would, in a sense, scare the heck out of them. And they wouldn't use the word heck, but for podcast purposes, I'm not going to use the
double
word.
hockey sticks.
Yes, they scared the heck out of them. And hopefully some of them genuinely gave their lives to Christ. So I think you can turn these things into something that's positive.
Yeah, I do too.
But I think there's a couple other points that he made. So
what a powerful thing to do, though. Like we've talked about, like using just meeting people where they are and, being Jesus to them in a different way. And I think that that's such a good example, something fun where kids can go and they can do a haunted house and be scared. But in the end, they get to really experience, what Jesus is about. That's a cool thing. So PB, I love that. I love that idea. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. And he also mentioned that Paul was the one that said to the pure, all things are pure, I believe. Forgive me if I'm not quoting that right. But at the end, he said that Paul could eat food sacrificed to idols because to him, idols were nothing.
Yes.
So I think the same goes for Halloween. Like you and I can celebrate it because for us, it's nothing. We're not celebrating spirits.
No.
We're not celebrating Satan. And you can turn it around and make it something that's holy and fun and something we can create a great memory for our kids, like my dad did for us.
We don't give glory to that.
Right.
We don't give glory to those things, and our eyes are not set on that. Our eyes are set on God and what He wants for us. So that is not something that we even